Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Crosstalk. I'm Tomoya.
Hi, I'm Andrea. Today we're going to talk about a viral video where a senior official, a senior vice president at Disney, says that Disney doesn't hire white men for some jobs.
Wow, that sounds really bad.
It's very controversial.
It is, I think. But obviously, we haven't heard this news in Japan so far
really?
yet. No, it's not on Japanese media.
Okay.
So, shall we dive into this news?
Sure, let's get into it. So apparently this video has a lot of people in America talking
Yes, I think so.
about Disney's practice of hiring staff people.
So the video features a big boss at Disney. He is a vice president at Disney. And the video was uploaded by a group called Project Veritas. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I think that's right, Veritas.
Okay. And which likes to do undercover investigations. Undercover investigations means like a secret mission.
Yes, so like secret recording.
Yes.
They kind of interview people secretly without telling them that they're being interviewed.
Yes. We say this in Japanese, off-record.
Oh.
Off the record.
Off the record. Okay, I understood that. I understood that one.
オフレコでみたいな。
オフレコ。
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 レコ。
Okay.
Yes.
I understood that. Off the record.
Yes.
Nice.
If the politician says this is off record, that means, all the media can't record it.
Right, you
But
can't
sometimes-
use it, yeah.
But some people actually record it.
Yes, of course. There's always people recording something.
Yes. So, in the video, the vice president seems to say Disney isn't hiring white men for some jobs. Which is really controversy.
Yes, it is, because in America, it's been the case up until recently, very recently, that, for example, black men or black people or Asian men could not get hired for some jobs. But now with Disney, it's white men. White men cannot get hired for some jobs. Right?
This has made it harder for him to get promoted because he's a white man.
Right, he's a white man himself.
Yes. And plus, he mentioned Disney didn't hire a mixed race person because they didn't look black enough.
I think that's ridiculous.
Yes, that's ridiculous, as you said.
Well, I only saw part of the video. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he was saying that the reason they do this is because Disney wants to, like when they send executives to meetings with other businesses, they want to appear a certain way. The company wants to look a certain way.
Yes.
And so they don't want white men representing the company. They want ethnic men or ethnic people representing the company.
Yes. They want to diversify their members.
Yes. Well, it's a bit ridiculous because this one video has really stirred up a lot of controversy in America and, online, of course.
They are hiring white people, but they can't get promoted.
Right. They're just hiring them for some positions, I think, and not other positions.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of obvious that for the last, I'll say 10 or 15 years, that Disney has really been focusing more on ethnic representation. If you look at the films that they've produced recently,
Yes.
all of the main characters are ethnic.
Yes, like, for example, Little Mermaid.
That's the very new one. The very, very new one.
Yeah,
The
Mermaid.
original mermaid was white with red hair.
I don't know other films, but
Aladdin,
okay.
the characters are Arabic or Middle Eastern. Pocahontas,
Pocahontas.
the main character is Native American.
Okay. Okay, you know it.
So, yeah, and then like animals, they've got like the Lion King, which is set in Africa. They're picking a lot of. The animals are not black or white, they're animals, but the fact that it's set in Africa, it kind of tends to be more ethnic. And the characters have like black voices.
So yeah, how do you feel about undercover journalism? I don't know how this woman filmed this footage, but it's clearly she betrayed this big boss.
Yeah. I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's okay for Disney if they want to, as a company, because, Disney's a huge international company. If Disney wants to focus more on ethnic representation or ethnic staff, that's fine. That's their prerogative. They can do that. But this undercover footage, I don't like this.
Yes.
It seems very shady. And like you said, it kind of betrays the trust of between the journalist, whoever's making the interview, the recording, and the Disney executive who was being interviewed.
Yes.
But also, he's kind of stupid for talking about this with anyone.
Yeah. Yes.
It's kind of on both sides. Like, the fault is on both sides.
Yes. So after this video has been uploaded on the internet, this vice president of Disney, he took a leave of absence.
Okay. That's concerning because he probably will get into trouble with the Disney company for having done that interview, even though it was unofficial.
Yes.
And even though it was undercover and he was kind of a victim, he'll probably get into big trouble for talking about that. And like I said, I just saw part of the video, but it wasn't just one sentence. He talked about it for a long time, and he explained in detail what the Disney company does. And so it's kind of his fault for talking so much. He should shut up. He should have shut up.
So Disney hasn't announced officially commented on this video yet. Something might come to him.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, probably.
So this video has aroused the balancing diversity and fair hiring practices.
It's kind of reversed to what it used to be. It used to be completely the opposite, where companies would only hire white men and they wouldn't hire ethnic people at all. Or if they did, they would keep the ethnic people at a very low status and they would not promote them. And, or women too. They'd only promote white men over white women or instead of any ethnic person.
Yes.
So really, this has just flipped the situation completely 180 degrees.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes. I think this is kind of an unusual case. But do you know similar cases happening in the U.S.?
I'm sure it exists. I don't know of any offhand, though. I haven't heard of any other companies that only hire ethnic people or black people.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of, for example, a lot of businesses owned by black people will only hire black people. They won't hire white people or Hispanic people or Asian people. But that's kind of not really a problem, right?
I wonder if this thing happened because of the number of white people in the U.S. shrinking.
No, I don't think it's because of that. I think it's a racism problem. And I think like Disney is trying to show that they're not racist and they're trying to appeal to a wider audience than just white people. Like they want to appeal to black children and they want to appeal to Hispanic children. They want to appeal to Asian children and Middle Eastern children. And so they have characters in their movies from all of these different parts of the world.
Yes.
I think it's just trying to be more diverse, trying to be all-inclusive.
So I want to bring up this topic. A guy who makes a famous game. He's a director of Final Fantasy.
Okay.
You may or may not have heard this game, but he's very famous. He commented about this diversify races problem
Oh.
because his game, most of the character in his game were white.
Oh, okay.
His story is fantasy. Like imagine Lord of the Ring.
Oh, okay, like
So,
Middle Earth, like
yeah.
the Renaissance
Yes,
period, kind
yes.
of European.
European style
Yeah.
story.
Okay.
So obviously there's many white characters there.
Well, because like all the stories from that time focus on Europe.
Yes. And recently many people complain to his video game because there's not many black people or Asian,
He's Japanese, though.
He's
right?
Japanese.
Okay.
So he's what he says is like this is what it is basically.
Okay.
You can't complain because
It's
this
my
is
game.
my game.
It's my game.
Yeah,
I made it. It's my game.
Yes.
Fair. Fair.
So what do you think about this idea?
That's fine. I mean, it's their idea. It's their creation. They can make it how they want. That's fine with me.
Yes. But Disney did something different. They changed the main characters' races.
Yes, they did. And I think, again, just kind of to reiterate or repeat myself, it's just because it's an international company and it's such a huge company and they make a lot of money.
Yes.
But if you go to like any Disney park in the world, like say you go to Disneyland in Los Angeles and you see what kind of people are visiting the parks, yes, there are white people there, but it's mostly Hispanic people because it's so close to Mexico.
Right.
Lots of tourists from all different countries. It's not only white people; it's everyone. All races from all around the world. When you go to the one in Tokyo, you go to Disneyland in Tokyo, it's probably lots of Asian people. It's lots of people from Taiwan and Hong Kong and China and Japan and, wherever, everywhere.
Yes.
So like Disney realizes they need to include the races of their customers in their stories in order to keep making money. Did you know that Walt Disney, the original founder of Disney, was a white man?
Yes.
And he is from the state of Missouri, which is where I'm from.
Oh.
And he's from a little tiny farm, tiny little house way out in the middle of literally nowhere.
Oh, I want to visit. I want to go there.
I've been to his house. You can't go inside. It's just a house in a field. You cannot go inside. It's not a museum, but
It's not a museum.
it's literally like the whitest place in America you could be from. Like there's no ethnic people around there. It's all white.
Okay.
It's all farmers.
It's funny.
So it's kind of funny, like thinking about where Disney came from and then where the company is now, where they only hire ethnic people for the main positions.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's crazy. But, it's their company. They do what they want.
Okay, so in the first half, we have talked about controversy surrounding Disney hiring practice. Now, let's dive into the comparison of hiring process between Japan and the US.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yes. So, one thing I want to mention is Japan. It's most commonly we include our selfie on our resume.
Not a selfie.
Selfie.
It's not a selfie, but it is a photo of yourself.
Yeah, photo of yourself. So, do people in the US do the same thing?
Never.
Never.
And it's against the law
Oh, is it?
for companies to ask you to do that. They cannot ask you to include a photo in your application because then they can see exactly your race.
Yes.
They can see your gender and they can see your age, and that could lead to unfair hiring.
But can't you tell where is this guy from his name?
Sometimes not.
Like if you put your name down to the resume and I'm Yamada Taro, it's kind of a clear he's from Japan.
Yes, but there's still a lot of people in America that have Japanese names that are not actually Japanese. They're actually American citizens. So you can't judge people by that 100%.
Okay.
And like I'm 100% white. My family's name is Maciel. It's a French name. I don't have any French blood. It's a Mexican French name. I don't have any Mexican blood. So you can't really judge people on their names.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same in Australia. You don't need to put your photo of yourself in a resume.
Is it actually illegal in Australia?
I don't know if this things is rule or legal or illegal.
Okay, it's actually illegal in America. The companies cannot ask you to do that. In theory,
Yes.
the company should be looking at how qualified the person is and like their background. Do they have experience? What's their education in? Are they actually qualified for this job? Not what do they look like? No one really cares about that, or you shouldn't care about that.
Yes. And there's a certain type of format for resume in Japan, and then you can get it anywhere.
Yes.
Even convenience store has
Yes.
it. But there's not such a thing in Australia.
We don't have that in America either, but the reason is because we do have a format, and probably in Australia too. There's a format. There's a way that you have to write it, but everyone does it on on a PC.
Yes.
But in Japan, it's handwritten. You have to write it by hand. And I asked someone, why do you have to write this by hand? And they said, well, we want to see if your handwriting isn't clear. And I'm thinking, why? Everyone uses PCs these days. We don't need to write memos anymore.
Yes. I have heard same thing. It's some company wants to see your how honesty are you. If you are lazy, your handwriting must be poor.
Okay, so they judge your personality on how nice your handwriting is.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't know if that's good or not.
I don't know. The things I heard many years ago.
Yeah. The crazy thing is that it's still that way in Japan. Like nothing has changed. Nothing has progressed or improved.
Maybe not.
It's still very discriminatory.
Yes. So we talk a lot about things about hiring process. I want to introduce key phrase to our listeners.
Okay.
In Japan, we say moru in terms of makes your resume looking good.
Okay.
It's not only a resume, but you can say, you can edit your photo with Photoshop, and
Sure.
it says moru.
Moru.
Moru,
Okay.
like make things better.
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense to kind of pile it on.
That's what you say in English.
That's a very casual expression. The proper English would be like exaggerate, probably.
Yeah.
Exaggerate or embellish.
Yes, embellish.
Yes, and we do. We embellish our resumes too.
That's moru in English.
Yes, embellish.
I wanna introduce a example sentence.
Okay.
She likes to embellish her stories to make them more interesting.
Ooh, I know people like that.
Oh.
Okay, I'll give you an example for exaggerate also. He tends to exaggerate his achievements. These are both moru, right?
Moru.
Moru, right?
実際より大げさに言うこと
Okay.
Okay.
There's a couple of other ways to say it, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Inflate.
That's a good word because it has an image. Like you think of a balloon. And you put air in the balloon and the balloon inflates, right? It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay. He inflated the importance of his role in the project.
Nice. And our last way to say it is overstate.
Overstate.
The company overstated its profits. So they said like too much. They stated or they said over what it was.
Yeah. That's not the thing you can't do. as a company.
Right, you can't do that.
Yes.
Yeah, so these all mean moru, right?
盛る、大げさに言う。
Right.
Please use this word and your daily conversation skill get better.
I learned a new Japanese word.
Yeah, 盛る。
I didn't know that. So.
写真を盛る。
Thank you for telling me.
Okay. So we talk a lot about cultural difference today.
Yeah.
And then we love to hear from our listeners. What do you think about this topic today?
Yeah, I wonder what people think about the different hiring practices. Like in Japan, you have to have a photo. In Australia or America, we're not allowed to put photos. Like, what do you think about that?
Yes.
Is that a good idea or a bad idea? What's your opinion?
Yeah, share your stories with us and don't forget to sign up our mailing list to stay updated on our latest episode.
Sounds great.
That's all for today. Thank you for tuning in.
This is Crosstalk signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining.
Bye.